How's it going, guys? It's Jack Trades, and welcome to the PO3 Bootcamp series. So I've decided to put together literally an entire bootcamp that goes over what the PO3 strategy is, how to use it, and pretty much every component so that you guys can learn this strategy yourselves and eventually use it to become a profitable trader. Now, there's going to be a lot of little hidden tips and tricks throughout this series. I will be posting a video on YouTube, and then the following day I will be posting a full Twitter thread. So make sure to stay tuned literally every single day for this. And without further ado, this first video, I just really want to get into what is the PO3 strategy, what is Power of 3, and what does the setup actually look like. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop on the charts here, and I will go ahead and get started. So let's kind of go up here, and Power of 3. So what actually is the Power of 3? I'm sure you guys have heard of it thus far. The Power of 3 is 1, accumulation, 2, manipulation, and 3, distribution, or AMD, which is another name for the Power of 3. Now, what actually is accumulation, manipulation, and distribution? So number one, what is accumulation? Essentially, accumulation, you guys can call it consolidation or whatever you want to do, but essentially what it is when price is moving in a sideways range like this. So as you guys know, the market moves down, the market moves up, but the market moves sideways. Now, the entire point of why the market actually accumulates is to engineer liquidity here and engineer liquidity here. Meaning, when one of these areas, all of these highs get taken out, those are stops getting taken out, that is freeing a ton of liquid cash into the market for other players to fill their orders. Other big players, of course. Retail liquidity does not really matter on this side of things, but this is talking on an institutional level. So essentially, just to kind of explain, the market can't just go straight up or straight down. It has to go straight up, accumulate, straight up. Like, it has to do it in a stair-stepping motion, essentially. So Power of 3, the first thing we have is our accumulation. Now, I like to draw just a green box over that to mark it out. Now that we have that, we can't just wait for price to go out of this range because we need to take stops out to have liquidity to go higher or lower. So let's say in this scenario, we are looking at a bearish Power of 3. What is 2? 2 is manipulation. So what manipulation is when we take out those accumulation highs or lows, as we can see right here. So I like to just mark that out with a red box here to make things simple. And once we have taken out all of these stops, so we have 1, 2, we are going to distribute, which I like to mark out just with a purple box. So feel free to use the same colors. It's pretty easy, like having manipulation as red, but essentially distribution is going to be the third part, that actual downwards movement, which is the real move, right? The distribution will go much, much lower. So this is actually what creates a high volume move, is accumulation and manipulation. So now that you kind of understand the actual Power of 3 concept, you need to know what actually causes this to be manipulation, okay? Why aren't we just going to, break out of here? Why are we actually reversing? Well, like I said, we're taking out stops, but we need some sort of confirmation that we're going back to the downside, because a lot of people will see, oh, we had manipulation. I'm just going to set my limit order to go short right at these highs and set a wide stop or whatever, and then put my take profit at my target, but it can obviously go higher. So that's not what you want to do. You want to wait for one of two things. One, IFVG, and 2, that is not what I wanted to do, hold on, and then 2, CISD. So this is a fair value gap getting inversed. This is a change in state of delivery. We will go over these two things later in the boot camp. That will actually be my next thread, is these entry confirmations after the first PO3 thread. But essentially what those are, just reversal confirmations, confirmation that bullish structure is being broken, and we can actually continue back to the downside here. So with the power of 3 strategy, we actually want to pair a power of 3 with a specific candle on the higher time frame. So for example, let's say what time frame is this power of 3? Let's say it's on the 1 to the 5 minute time frame. We're going to find that PO3 on the 1 to the 5 minute time frame with a 4-hour candle. Okay? Now let me get this 4-hour candle going right here. I'll make that black to signify a bearish candle. And we will take a look at actually what the open high low close is right now. So let's pretend this is a 4-hour candle. Okay? Right at 10 a.m., that's the one we trade. You can trade 2 4-hour candles with this exact strategy. You can trade at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is 30 minutes after the market opens, or you can trade at 2 p.m. Eastern. I like to stick with the 10 a.m. candle. Makes it super simple right after market open. But anyways, this is the candle on the higher time frame. This is what that candle looks like on the lower time frame. So generally, we will open, and when we open, we will accumulate a little bit, and then we will manipulate, and that manipulation is what that top wick of that 4-hour candle is. And you'll see when I go over an example, you'll see with the indicator, super simple. Now, once we have put in that top wick and we see an entry confirmation, we got, let's say, an inverse fair value gap there, then we are ready to trade the distribution, which this is what the candle will look like. You'll open, you'll accumulate, you'll manipulate, and then you'll continue lower and actually put in that full candle. You're essentially trading the whole movement of the body of this candle. But super simple, this is all you're looking for on the lower time frame. So now that you understand that, and of course I will be pumping out as many threads and videos on this as humanly possible for you guys, let's take just a simple look at one right here. So let's mark out, when did this 4-hour candle open right here? 15. This is when that 4-hour candle opened. First, we can see it opened and accumulated, so we'll mark that out. Then we saw a manipulation, we'll mark that out, creating that bottom wick of the 4-hour candle. And then what sort of entry confirmation did we get? An inverse fair value gap right here. Right when we close, that is when you go long and you're catching the distribution. Trading the whole movement of that 4-hour candle, stop loss just lies right at that low. So let's kind of just play this out so you guys can get an idea of how this candle moves. Let's play it in 3 times speed. So we open, we accumulate, then we manipulate, creating that low, and then we distribute. And we'll watch this ride to its target real quick. So as you can see, very, very simple strategy here, guys. Literally only takes 3 things. You are trading a high time frame candle on the low time frame, and it is time-based, which makes it even easier. You can expect it at one time during the day. Now, I'm on the 2 minute here, but you can see on the 1 minute, the exact same thing happened. That's the candle we inversed the FEG on. So that's essentially what the PO3 strategy is and why it works. Now, of course, please stay tuned for the thread I am going to post tomorrow. But again, I trade this live almost every single day that we get the setup in my Discord. Now, some days or some weeks that can be literally Tuesday through Friday, we get the same setup. There's an October recap in there. We absolutely printed. Members have gotten over $2 million in funding just from the last month alone from this strategy from trading with me live. And obviously, I have my full course on how to trade it specifically that way. But I'm on the market literally from pre-market to entering the position to scaling out of the position, literally from start to finish. And I record every single session for you guys. So if you do want to try that out for free and trade live with me and see how I do it, again, for completely free, I am running a 7-day free trial for that. So all you have to do is click that first link in the bio on this video and click that, get the free trial. Also below that, I'm going to link my Twitter so you guys can follow that and stay updated for that thread every other day. But again, with this series, it is a full PO3 bootcamp. I'm going to be alternating YouTube video, thread, YouTube video, thread. So make sure you are subscribed both on YouTube and following me on X so you can get the full extent of this free bootcamp. And again, if you do want to trade with me live for completely free for a week, try it out, then go ahead and click that first link.